right, so yesterday we learned how to identify the sides of a right triangle opposite adjacent hypotenuse. All right, so remember the hypotenuse is easy. It's always directly across from the right angle. The adjacent is the one that makes up the angle but is not the hypotenuse, okay? And opposite you can physically draw an arrow to. So when all the sides are given, it is easy to find the right ratio, which is always going to be a fraction. But when we are missing a side, we must use a combo of the angle measures inside the triangle and the sides to create a proportion to solve for a missing side. Now, yesterday I told you something very specific with your calculators. What mode does your calculator have to be in? Degree. Double check that right now with your calculator. Those of you that didn't have it yesterday, bring it up so I can show you how to do it again. Because for some reason my online stuff isn't working, so I gotta fix that. So remember, hit mode, scroll down to degree. It's right next to the word radian. Highlight degree, hit enter. Make sure that has like the dark background, and then you can quit. To confirm, you could always check your screen. Whether you have using a 30 or an 84, it should say DEG or degree somewhere on there saying you are in the correct mode. All right, so this is just a recap of SOHCAHTOA. Let's move on to this first example. All right, so in this case, we have the sine. Now remember, sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, okay? So if we are talking about the sine of 41 degrees, which is angle P, we're talking about what is directly across from that, that's y, over the hypotenuse, which is 100. And this is a proportional relationship, something we did a lot, something we did in topic 7. In order to solve for this, I multiply both sides by, I just do my cross multiplication. So this is going to be y equals 100 times the sine of 41 degrees. So all you need to do here is type in your calculator 100 sine 41 and close the parenthesis. Tell me what you get. Round it to the 10th, please. Perfect, 65.6. About. All right, let's take a look at this next one, example 2. Here we're talking about the cosine. So again, we're looking at this and remember the cosine here is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So we have the cosine of 28 degrees is equal to the adjacent 18 over y. Again, put this over 1. There's your proportional relationship. We cross multiply. Now this is where this one's going to be a little different than the last one. So we're going to have y times the cosine of 28 equals 18. Now here's what you need to remember with sine, cosine, tangent. It's just a number. So the cosine of 28 is in fact a number. I'm not going to do anything with it yet because we need to, there's a little something we need to do in order to find everything, okay? But what do I do? What would I do if this was just say 2y equals 18? What would I do here? Someone tell me. What? I would divide by 2. Since the cosine of 28 is just a number, I'm going to divide by the cosine of 28. And I'm going to do that on each side. Okay? So this is going to leave me with y equals 18 over the cosine of 28. I'm going to kind of continue up here only because I have a little bit more space. All right. So in your calculators, do 18 divided by the cosine of 28. That's all you got to do. What's y going to equal? Go ahead. 20.4. I just put a squiggly here because it's approximate. Does that make sense? Don't reinvent the wheel. It's just a number, okay? However, I would never round at the beginning, always round at the end of a problem. Like, don't type in the cosine of 28, round it to the 10th, and then divide everything by that 10th. You're losing a lot of decimal places, okay? So always do it at the end. Questions on that one? All right. Is anybody still writing? All right, let's take a look at this next one. So let's see what we have here. I'm looking at this 37-degree angle, and I have an opposite, and I have an adjacent. So what trig ratio am I going to be using here? Good. Tangent. Very good. So in this case, if you take a look, I'm going to have the tangent of 37 degrees equals that opposite, which is 30, over the adjacent, which is x. I'm going to put that over, again, the 37 over 1, right? And I'm going to then cross multiply. So this is going to leave me with x times the tangent of 37 equals 30. Now remember, if that cosine was just a number, do you think this tangent of 37 is just a number as well? Yeah, so what am I going to do to both sides of this? What am I going to do? Divide both sides by what? Anybody? Louise, close the laptop, please. Thank you. What am I going to divide both sides by? Come on, guys. Yeah, tangent of 37. So it's going to be x equals 30 divided by the tangent of 37 degrees. Someone tell me, what does x approximately equal? What'd you get? 39.3. Try this one on your own. It's got an x right there. So try this one on your own. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Who's got it? What does x approximately equal here? What's it about equal to? You got it, or you just okay? Okay, wasn't sure. Whitney, what'd you get? Okay, how'd you set it up? You didn't do it yet. Uh-oh. Anybody else? Come on. Help me out. We're not moving on until I get an answer. What'd you get? Nope. Go ahead. 7.1. Yep. All right, so here's our angle. We have an adjacent and a hypotenuse. That's what? Cosine of 54, which is the adjacent x over the hypotenuse 12. The rest you are on your own for. Okay? All right. Turn to the back side. Justin has the triangular garden shown in the figure. Find the perimeter of the garden round to the nearest tenth. So what you guys are doing with these is you are actually finding side lengths. Okay? So in this case, here's Justin. All right, so we're working with that 22-degree angle, and they want us to find this x and this y. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to give you guys a tip. Use what is given to you. So in this case, the 22 degrees is given to you, and the 15-foot hypotenuse is given to you. After you calculate something, don't use that. Does that make sense? Only use what's given to you. So I'm going to set up my proportion. Now, if I want to solve for x, that's an opposite. This is the hypotenuse. This is the adjacent. So I have an opposite and a hypotenuse. What am I using here? Sine, cosine, or tangent? It's okay to look at the front. It's all there for you. So I have x, and I have 15. What is it? Which is it? Sine. Very good. So I'm going to have the sine of 22 degrees equals the opposite x over the hypotenuse 15. And I'm going to solve. What is x going to be here? Or I should say, what is x approximately going to be here? Someone tell me. What'd you get? 5.6. Very good. All right, so we have x. That's about 5.6. Now let's work on y. So that's an adjacent over a hypotenuse. So what am I going to use there? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Again, feel free to look at the front side of your sheet. It's all there. Sine, cosine, or tangent. We have an adjacent and a hypotenuse now. Whitney? Cosine. This is going to be the cosine of 22 degrees over 1 equals the adjacent y over the hypotenuse 15. Someone tell me, what is the approximate value of y? Yep, about 13.9. All right, so if I'm going to solve for the perimeter, Who remembers how to solve for perimeter? Perimeter is what? Do we multiply? Do we divide? Do we add? Do we subtract? How many of you have a fence in your backyard? Yeah, I do too. I have a couple dogs that gotta stay in, right? How does the company know to put up how much fencing to put up? What do they do? What do they do? Take a tape measure and do what? Measure. And then what do they do to get the total? What operation? Is it adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? Add. Perimeter is just adding all sides. It does not matter the shape. Just add all the sides together. So in this case, we're going to have 15 plus the 5.6 plus the 13.9. So the perimeter should be about 34.5 feet. Okay? Now there's 2 Delta math examples on here. I want you guys to complete those on your own. Do those first, and I will be happy to show you what you should have gotten, okay? Before you get into the Delta math. But we also have a worksheet, so we're not done yet. So don't open your computers yet. Do these 2 on the back. Show of hands, who's still working on these 2? Anybody? All right, I'm going to show you these 2 answers, and then we're going to play a game. All right, so let's check it out. Here's the first one. So you should have gotten about 9.5. And you needed to use cosine. And then the second one, you should have got about 60.7, and you should have used tangent because that's where the angle measure is, okay? Now, here's what we're going to do. You have 9 questions on here. All right, I'm going to show you the worksheet because I think there's I don't know why it didn't print completely. But number 1, that's a 9. Number 2, that's an 8. Number 3, that's a 9. I'm just looking at everything else. 6, that side is an X. And then 7, that's a 6. Okay, so I'll show you guys the worksheet. I want to give you guys a couple minutes to do this, then we're going to play a game with this, and it'll involve some extra credit. But it all depends on how you guys do. 7 is 6. I know it's a little cut off there. 5 is 7. I don't know why it cut off on the printer so much, but here, I'll write it down here real quick. 9, 8, 9. 4 looked fine. Whoops, I don't know why I was doing that. This is 7. That's just X. And then this is 6. The rest should be okay. All right, so I'm going to give you guys, let's say, 5 minutes to complete these problems. And then I'll explain the rules of the game in a minute. All right? If we need more time, that's fine. We'll start with 5 minutes. But get going on these. I know this will not be, I'm just going to turn in the worksheet. It's not that type of extra credit. If you need help, please come see me. What's up?
Did we do this yesterday? How to find X?
Oh, snap. No, someone added this to this and they shouldn't have. Okay. You guys, actually, I just noticed this, guys. Or actually, you just brought it to my attention. You can't do 1. You can't do 2. I don't know why they're in there. And you can't do 8.
So cross those off.
Cross those off. 1, 2, and 8. I'm just gonna try. But 9 you can do, definitely. Yeah, we didn't cover that yet. That's
Okay,
Monday.
I was confused. I was
No, there's that. I should have caught that earlier. Sorry. So 1, 2, and 8. You can't do those, but you can do everything else. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Huh? 1, 2, and 8? No one can. Ho, ho, ho. I might have one you could borrow. You want to do that? Here, someone left this behind. Just make sure I get it back. I don't even know whose this is. Let's see. Nah, I don't have it. It's battery's low. That ain't gonna work. I'll give you my 30. What happened to your calculator? You didn't charge it yet?
No.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have a charger. All right, it's already in degree mode, so you're good. All right, so while you guys are working on this, since we're skipping 1, 2, and 8, I'm gonna let you know like what the rules are for this, okay? The rules are, I'm gonna let Delta Math decide who shouts out their answer for the ones we do. Everyone who gets it in a row, all right? So it's like if you answered 3 correctly, that's a point. If you answer 4 correctly, that's a point. And so on. You have to keep a winning streak, exactly. And if you mess up, you drop back down to 0. So you have a potential of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 assessment points. All for just doing your work. All right? People that are not here are not eligible. But Delta Math could do one of two things. Either it could call on you once, it could call on you 0 times, it might call on you more than once. Yeah.
Is it like on Delta Math?
This?
Yeah.
No. No, it's on the worksheet. So those of you that might be like, I'm not going to do it, you might want to. Just a thought.
Elizabeth, can you accept my request?
You gotta go bathroom? Sorry, I don't know. Okay. It's not letting me approve. It's here. I'm hitting approve. Does it say anything on your end?
Yeah.
Okay, then go. Let's think about that. You have 2 out of the 3 sides. What can you use instead? Begins with a P. Huh? Old dead Greek guy. Had a lot of crazy ideas. Yeah. You can still do that one, right? Hi. You have 2 out of the 3 sides. What can you use instead of trigonometry? You can use begins with a P. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. All right, show of hands. Who's still working on these? Okay. How about I give you like 2 more minutes? Will that be enough? Or okay. All right, 2 more minutes, and we're gonna get going on this. So if you are done with this, make sure you can get started on your homework. What's up?
How do I know which one I use since there's
Oh no, I didn't say you can move around the room. This is classwork, gentlemen. Please head back, gentlemen. Please head back to your seats. Yeah, I understand, but not right now. You can always do that for Delta Math, though. What?
how do I know which one is the syntanic with no
You don't. But you have a right angle, so what else can you do?
90? Wait. No.
Begins with a P.
Oh, Corn.
Old dead Greek guy. A lot of crazy ideas about geometry. Created an amazing. She knows. Go ahead.
What is it?
No, I said Greek guy. No, not a god, a guy. He's just a guy. All right. While you guys are finishing up, I'm going to start. I'm going to start getting that random student caller going. Here it is. For those of you watching at home, 1 and 2 are no go, and neither is 8. So skip 8. 1 and 2 and 8 are skipped. This isn't really working for me. All right. All right. Yeah.
Does the whole class get better or just like?
Yeah, whole class.
Wait, if like 3 people get in a row, that goes back to 0.
You go back to 0 and then you can answer that question for 1 point. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, you gotta have a win streak to get all 6.
So we have to like end it, but like yeah.
You have to end at 9 with the correct answer. Does that make sense? Okay.
So if we get all of them right, but 9, we get 0. We get 0.
Yeah, that's kind of the stinker of it. Huh?
How do you set this one up?
All right, so if you have 16-foot ladder is propped against building. So if this is your building, right?
Mhm.
Here's your ladder. They're asking the angle it forms with the ground is 55 degrees. So that has to be 90 because it's a building,
Yeah.
right? This is your 55 degrees.
Okay.
How far up the side of the building does the ladder reach? So if you have a 16-foot ladder here, you have this, you're searching for that. That's all you're missing.
Oh.
Alrighty, I'm gonna give you 1 more minute and then we're going over this because we're running out of time. And remember, I'm looking for approximate answers. You can round to the 10th or the 100th. It'll be fine. Okay, I'm not like being, well, actually it does say, you know what? My bad. It does say rounded to the 100th here. So make sure you have rounded to the 100th. Now that I'm looking at it a little more closely. It says in the directions round to the nearest 100th. So make sure your answers are in the 100th. All right, are we ready? No. Your mom's teacher? What does she teach? Where at?
Rice Academy.
Oh, the private school out there? That is really far. It's got to be at least an hour.
It's like 45 minutes.
That's still a lot. She got to take 80 all the way over. And that's the worst part. 80 is horrible. I used to live in Manuka, so I know exactly where she's at. That's like 20 minutes from Manuka even. What time is the bell ringing here? Was it? Yeah, you guys got 1 more minute and then we have to start. Because it's just an answer shout out, so it won't take long. All right, 11:04, I'm starting. All right, it's 11:04. Number 3. Rebecca, what'd you get? 11.93. So X is about 11.93. Very good. That's 1 point. All right, so far so good. I'm going to have to clear it. I don't know why it's dragging. All right, number 4. Layla C. What was your answer for X, approximately? Perfect. 86. There's 2 points. We're doing good. Cooking with gas. All right, next, number 5. Brendan,
5.41.
number 5?
Yeah.
I did not get that. I'll give you one chance to phone a friend. You can pick and hope they have the right answer.
I don't know. Someone will do.
You can raise your hand if you got it, or if you think you got it.
8.34.
8.34. Nice job. Woo! Way to save the day. There's 3 points. All right, next. Number 6. Not here. Luis.
38.68.
38.68. Nice job. All right. Any questions on those? All right, we're going to scoot down to number 7. Let's see who Delta Math decides for number 7. Viviana. What'd you get for 7? Give me an answer. Phone a friend that you think has it, but it can't be the same person. 6. All right, number 9, the big one. Gianna's not here. Whitney. What'd you get? About. Oh, phone a friend, but it can't be anybody who's already answered. There's only like 2 people I think that haven't answered. Raise your hands if you haven't answered. Maybe 3. You haven't answered yet, have you? No, so there's 2. Pick one. Pick a girl. All right. 13.11. Hey, we're saved. 6 points for everyone here today. Have a great day, guys. I'm going to post this key so you can look at the work if you need it. Don't forget your Delta Math for homework over the weekend. Have a great day. That's why I said we got to get going on it, right? Bye, guys. What's up, Louise? Uh-oh. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Good. I'm glad you didn't freak. Bye, guys. All right, those of you watching at home, have a great day. Key is posted. You are not eligible for extra credit on this.